Many viewers and listeners may not have heard of the Camino de Santiago. Can you tell us a little about the route itself and the countryside you walk through?
The Camino de Santiago isn't just one path. It's a network of ancient pilgrimage routes stretching across Europe, all leading to the Cathedral of Santiago de Compostela in northern Spain. I've mainly walked the Camino Frances, which begins in the French Pyrenees and crosses the breadth of Spain. What stays with you is the sheer variety of landscapes. You move through vineyards and wheat fields, over mountain passes and along river valleys, into medieval villages and in wide open plains where the horizon feels endless. Some days you walk beneath oak forests and chestnut trees. Other days the sun beats down on open farmland with nowhere to hide.
I'm walking the Camino.
Meet Doug McPhillips, pilgrim, seeker, and witness to the long road inward. Doug has walked the epic Camino de Santiago, not once, but 3 times. Each journey was born from personal tragedy and hard-won endurance. Moments when life demanded answers rather than comfort. Along the ancient paths of the Camino, Doug found no escape, but perspective. He credits the Camino region itself, the land, the people, the rhythm of walking, with reshaping how he understands loss, meaning, and what it truly means to live. In your view, what is the historical significance of the Camino?
Historically, the Camino is one of the great pilgrimage routes of the medieval world. For over 1,000 years, people have been walking these paths. Peasants, kings, monks, merchants, drawn by faith, by penance, by curiosity, or simply the need for change. Long before modern borders existed, the Camino connected Europe through shared movement and shared purpose. What's remarkable is how it shaped culture. Towns were built, hospitals, bridges, churches were built specifically to support pilgrims. Ideas, languages, and traditions flowed along the route, making the Camino a living artery of European history rather than just a religious trail. But I think its deeper significance is that it has never really stopped working. Even today, when you walk the Camino, you're stepping into the same rhythm as those who walked centuries before you. You're not just learning history, you're participating in it, one step at a time.
When did you first walk the route, and what made you decide to commit to it in the first place?
I first walked the Camino at a time when things had come apart. I wasn't looking for an adventure or a holiday. I was looking for a way to keep moving when standing still felt impossible. Loss and personal upheaval had left me carrying more than I knew how to put down. Committing to the Camino felt less like a decision and more like a necessity. Walking gave me something simple, something achievable. Put one foot in front of the other. Each day had a clear purpose. Walk, eat, rest, repeat. And in that simplicity, space began to open. Space for reflection, space to breathe. I didn't know what I was searching for when I started, and I don't think you need to. The Camino has a way of meeting you exactly where you are. For me, that first walk became a turning point, not because everything was sorted out, but because I started to see that healing doesn't come all at once. Sometimes it unfolds quietly, gradually, step by step.
The Camino must have left a lasting impression on you, given that you've now completed it 3 times. When did you complete your second and third walks, and did those experiences differ greatly from the first?
They did, very much so. My second and third walks came at very different stages of my life, and each one reflected what I was carrying at the time. The first Camino was about survival, about finding my footing again when life had knocked me off balance. By the second walk, I returned with more awareness. I wasn't as raw, but I was more open. I walked with intention rather than desperation, and the Camino responded differently. I noticed people more deeply, the conversations, the quiet generosity that unfolds between strangers. It became less about escape and more about listening. The third walk was different again. It felt like a conversation with an old friend. I wasn't seeking answers in the same way. I was walking to integrate what I had already learned. The Camino had shifted from something that carried me to something that walked alongside me. Each journey stripped away another layer, but none of them repeated the last. The path stays the same, but the pilgrim never does.
You've written several books, poems and songs inspired by your Camino experiences, all available through online bookstores and your website. What do you most hope viewers, listeners and readers take away from your words and music?
There's something about that walk that draws you back. It sparks creativity in a way that's hard to explain. The Camino becomes a kind of awakening. What feels urgent and important in our three-dimensional, everyday world begins to lose its grip when you're walking day after day with just a pack on your back. Out there, you experience a freedom that's rare in modern life. Time slows, priorities shift, and you start to see yourself more clearly. That's what I hope people feel through my writing and music. That sense of perspective, of space to breathe. I'm not necessarily suggesting everyone needs to walk the entire Camino, but I do believe we all need at some point to step into the unknown, to leave behind what's familiar and comfortable and see what emerges. As Phil Cousineau says, the traveler, the pilgrim, cannot find deep meaning on their journey, on their life, until they encounter what is truly sacred. I feel like I've seen the doorway to that understanding, but I'm still climbing the mountain. Maybe that's how it's meant to be, and who knows, perhaps that means another Camino. What do you reckon?